So, you decided you want a girlfriend. Congratulations and good luck. Wait, come back. Before you go off gallivanting to pursue your love life, let me offer you some advice. Obviously, there are other ways to ask a lady out, but the success rate for pickup lines is so astronomically huge. Why risk it? The best ones are witty and funny, get a girl laughing. So here are my top 10 best pickup lines. They range from simple one-liners to needlessly complicated, unnecessarily large pickup lines that will undoubtedly get you a lady's number. So without further ado, enjoy.
Approach the lady with a certain swagger. Make yourself known. Place one arm on her shoulder and take a knee. Then say the following line. Approach the woman loudly so they know you're there. You know how they get when they're at the stove. Once she turns around, say the following line. Before approaching them, go out and buy a big bag of limes. Try and aim for at least 20. For the purposes of this video, we'll be using 5 oranges. Walk up to her and start to say something. But before you do, drop the bag of limes all over the floor, making her look like an accident. Spend about 5 minutes attempting to pick them up, but purposely doing a bad job. If possible, try and get her to help. That level of success will vary on how you ask. Finally, get all of the limes in the bag and then stand up and say the following line. Approach the woman with a certain swagger. Take a seat next to her, then place one arm behind her back and say the following line. Run up to the woman, quickly, turn her around, get her attention, and then have the following conversation. After walking together for a few minutes, turn to her and have this conversation. This is one for the sciencey lads out there looking for equally sciencey type girl. All you have to do is walk up to her and then say this line.
For the purposes of this line, you'll need 1 galaxy bar. However, we will be using an orange.
This is for somebody you have known for a while, but have never worked up the courage to ask them out. Before approaching her, go out and buy a galaxy bar. Hide it in your pocket. Walk up to her and say, then you pull out the galaxy bar, smile, wink, and say, this is another science one for y'all. Walk up to her with the swagger that Andrew is showing, sit down and say, this is a nice and simple one. Walk up to her, place one hand on her head and say, So now that you've undoubtedly got a hell of a fine date, let me give you some tips to plan the perfect night out. But first, there's a few golden rules to remember. The trick is to just have a little squirt. That way, if she doesn't like it, it's not so overpowering that she can't stand to be around you. But if she does like it, she'll have to lean in closer to get a better smell. I find that women's perfume is has a particularly interesting effect, because then she'll get curious and lean in even closer to wonder why is that women's perfume? Yes, it is. What's an adventurous man? A man I can see myself being with. When the date takes place, it's crucial to making a good impression. Too late, and the parents get a bad impression of you as you get home around 11. But too early, and it just doesn't have that date type feel to it. And this is why you should never have a date at lunchtime, because lunches are meals that are more commonly associated with friends. While I recognise that this is a wildly controversial topic, I think it kind of depends on the date itself. For example, if one person pays for the food, perhaps the other could pay for drinks. There's a very important saying. If a woman doesn't offer to pay, she hasn't been brought up right. But if the man doesn't pay, he hasn't been brought up right. Take that how you will. Ultimately, I can see both sides, but it is completely up to those on the dates. Now, you could go down a conventional route, but I suggest a more original date. For example, a picnic on a hill watching the sunset. This is a particularly good idea because it gives you a good chance to bond. And let's be honest, it's a lovely romantic setting, and it will be a fairly isolated area, giving you two lots of privacy. Dates that are active, like a crazy golf or taking a painting class together, are a brilliant opportunity to bond. Plus, they present you with an excellent opportunity to complement her skills. If there are any fun events on in your local area, try to take advantage of these. For example, you could build your date into a particular event. If all else fails, there is the lazy dinner and a date. Yes, I know it's quite generic, but just, in case, here are some top tips for you to remember. Pick a chick flick. These are generally romantic comedies, which coincidentally are my favourite type of film, like Love Actually, About Time, Sex and the City. Of course, you could just ask her what she wants to watch, but think how happy she will be when you surprise her with her favourite film, Love Actually. Watch the movie first. This is a very, very useful tip. Offer to pay for both the snacks, the movie, and the meal afterwards. That way, she'll fill up on more cheap snacks and less expensive, proper food. This way, you'll come off generous and save a hell of a lot on money. 6 to 8 p.m. is an ideal time to start off the date. That way, if it doesn't go the way you hoped, the night is still young. But if it does go well, there's still time to do more stuff. Bring your own snacks. The belief that you aren't allowed to bring your own food into the cinema is nonsense, and is only spread to the extent that it is spread today because movie workers rely heavily on people buying their own food as a method for the upkeep of their cinema, which is why it's so expensive. Well, here we are at last. I've imparted my data knowledge onto you, so only thing I can do now is to wish you good luck. But with this advice, luck is the one thing you don't need.